In the heart of the enchanting kingdom of Viridia, there was a grand castle where the revered royal family resided. The castle's towers pierced the sky, their tips often shrouded in mist, and the lush gardens surrounding the fortress were filled with the aroma of blooming flowers. The kingdom was known far and wide for its prosperity and the kindness of its rulers, King Darius and Queen Selene. Yet, it was the tale of their twin daughters, Princess Alicia and Princess Rumi, that captivated the hearts of the people. Alicia and Rumi were identical in appearance, but vastly different in personality. Alicia, the elder by mere minutes, had a spirit as wild as the winds that swept across Viridia's rolling hills. She loved adventure, often found in the castle's stables or exploring the nearby forests. Her laughter was like a melody, always inviting those around her to join in her mirth. Rumi, on the other hand, was serene and introspective. She found solace in the castle's grand library, devouring books of ancient lore and practicing the delicate art of healing. Her gentle touch and soothing presence brought comfort to all who sought her out. Despite their differences, the twins shared an unbreakable bond. They communicated with a silent understanding, a look or a touch conveying volumes of unspoken words. Their contrasting strengths made them a formidable pair, complementing each other in ways that none could rival. One fateful day, a dark cloud cast its shadow over Viridia. A prophecy, long forgotten, had resurfaced. It spoke of an ancient evil that would awaken when the lunar eclipse painted the night sky in crimson. This evil, known as the Shadow Wraith, sought to plunge the world into eternal darkness. The kingdom's sages foretold that only the twin princesses, united in their strengths, could prevent the impending doom. The night of the eclipse arrived with an eerie stillness. The castle, usually bustling with activity, was cloaked in a tense silence. Alicia and Rumi stood side by side in the grand hall, their parents watching with a mixture of pride and worry. The air was thick with anticipation as the moon began to darken, a sliver of crimson appearing on its edge. As the eclipse reached its peak, a chilling wind swept through the castle. From the shadows, the wraith emerged, a figure cloaked in darkness, with eyes that glowed like embers. It spoke in a voice that seemed to echo from the depths of the earth, challenging the princesses to confront their destiny. Alicia, with her fearless heart, stepped forward first. She drew her sword, a gift from her father, and faced the wraith with unwavering determination. The wraith lashed out with tendrils of shadow, but Alicia's agility and courage kept her just out of reach. She danced around the creature, her movements a blur of defiance. Meanwhile, Rumi closed her eyes, drawing upon the wisdom and magic she had learned from her books. She began to chant, her voice soft but filled with power. A radiant light began to emanate from her, growing brighter with each word. The light formed a protective barrier around Alicia, shielding her from the wraith's dark attacks. Together, the twins advanced on the wraith, their combined strengths creating a harmony of light and courage. Alicia's sword, now glowing with Rumi's magic, struck the wraith, causing it to recoil with a screech. Rumi's chants grew louder, the light intensifying until it was blinding. In a final desperate attempt, the wraith lunged at the princesses. But Alicia and Rumi, united in their purpose, unleashed a surge of combined power. The wraith was enveloped in light, its form dissolving into nothingness. The crimson hue of the eclipse faded, the moon returning to its silvery brilliance. The kingdom erupted in celebration as the news spread. Alicia and Rumi had not only saved Viridia, but had also cemented their place in its history as legendary heroes. The bond between the twins had proven stronger than the darkest evil, a testament to the power of unity and love. In the years that followed, Viridia flourished under the rule of the twin princesses. Alicia's adventurous spirit led to the discovery of new lands and allies, while Rumi's wisdom and compassion healed and guided their people. Together, they ruled justly and wisely, their reign becoming a golden age remembered for generations. And so, the story of Princess Alicia and Princess Rumi, the twin princesses of Viridia, was passed down through the ages, a shining example of how love, courage, and unity could conquer even the greatest of evils. In the amusing kingdom of Lyria, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, stood a magnificent castle. This castle was home to the benevolent King Edmund, Queen Isolde, and their beloved daughter, Princess Annabelle. Annabelle was known throughout the kingdom not only for her beauty and grace, but also for her insatiable curiosity and adventurous spirit. One sunny afternoon, Princess Annabelle decided to visit her secret garden. This garden, hidden behind a tall hedge and accessible only through a concealed gate, was her sanctuary. It was a place where she could escape the demands of royal life, surrounded by blooming flowers, chirping birds, and the gentle hum of bees. As she wandered through her garden, Annabelle's keen eyes caught sight of something gleaming among the daisies. Curiosity piqued, she knelt down and gently brushed aside the flowers to reveal a golden egg. It shimmered in the sunlight, its surface smooth and warm to the touch. Annabelle had never seen anything like it before. With great care, she picked up the egg and held it in her hands. It was surprisingly light, and as she turned it over, she noticed faint, intricate patterns etched into its surface. She wondered what kind of creature could have laid such an extraordinary egg. Determined to uncover the mystery, Annabelle took the egg to the castle's wise old advisor, Merlin. Merlin was known for his vast knowledge of magical creatures and ancient lore. He examined the egg carefully, his eyes widening with recognition. "Princess Annabelle," he said, his voice filled with awe, "this is no ordinary egg. It is a dragon's egg, and a golden one at that. It is said that golden dragons are incredibly rare and possess immense wisdom and magical powers." Annabelle's eyes sparkled with excitement. A dragon's egg! She had read stories about dragons, but had never imagined she would encounter one. Merlin continued, "You must keep this egg safe and warm. When it hatches, the dragon will bond with you and become your lifelong companion." Annabelle nodded, feeling a mixture of responsibility and thrill. She took the egg back to her chamber, where she created a cozy nest using soft blankets and pillows. Every day, she tended to the egg, keeping it warm and talking to it, eagerly awaiting the day it would hatch. Weeks passed, and one night, as Annabelle was about to fall asleep, she heard a faint tapping sound. She rushed to the egg and watched in amazement as tiny cracks appeared on its surface. The tapping grew louder until, with a final push, a small golden dragon emerged from the egg. The dragon looked up at Annabelle with bright, intelligent eyes. Its scales shimmered like gold in the candlelight. Annabelle reached out tentatively, and the dragon nuzzled her hand, a bond forming instantly between them. She named him Aurelius, after the ancient word for gold. As Aurelius grew, so did his powers. He could summon fire with a mere thought, and his presence brought prosperity to the kingdom. Crops flourished, and the people of Lyria enjoyed unprecedented peace and abundance. Annabelle and Aurelius became inseparable, exploring the kingdom and beyond, their adventures becoming the stuff of legend. One day, news reached the castle that a neighboring kingdom was under threat from a dark sorcerer. Annabelle knew she and Aurelius had to help. With King Edmund and Queen Isolda's blessing, they set off on their journey. The sorcerer, Malachar, had cast a shadow over the land, his dark magic causing suffering and despair. Annabelle and Aurelius confronted him, their bond and combined strength a beacon of hope. In a fierce battle, Aurelius's golden fire clashed with Malachar's dark magic. Annabelle's courage and Aurelius's power proved too formidable, and they ultimately vanquished the sorcerer, restoring peace to the land. Upon their return, Annabelle and Aurelius were hailed as heroes. Their bond had not only saved a kingdom, but had also inspired countless others. Under their watchful eyes, Lyria continued to thrive, and stories of the brave princess and her golden dragon were passed down through generations. Princess Annabelle's discovery of the golden egg in her secret garden had transformed her life and the fate of many. It was a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary adventures begin with a single, unexpected discovery. In the mystical kingdom of Ebo, where magic flowed as freely as the rivers and the forests were alive with enchantment, there lived a princess named Lucy. She was the daughter of King Cedric and Queen Helena, who ruled with wisdom and compassion. Lucy, however, was unlike any other royal in the kingdom, for she was born with the gift and curse of dark energy. From a young age, it was clear that Lucy possessed powers that were both extraordinary and terrifying. Her eyes would occasionally flicker with a shadowy hue, and objects would move or shatter around her when she became upset. Despite her powers, Lucy had a kind heart. She would spend her days helping the people of Ilaria, using her abilities to heal the sick, mend broken things, and aid in times of need. Her compassion and gentleness made her beloved by all, even as they feared the dark energy she wielded. As Lucy grew older, her powers became stronger and more difficult to control. She sought guidance from the kingdom's sages, who taught her how to channel her energy into protective spells and healing arts. Despite their teachings, a shadow always loomed over her, whispering of the potential for great destruction. One fateful day, a powerful sorcerer named Malachar threatened Ilaria. He commanded an army of shadow creatures and sought to plunge the kingdom into eternal darkness. The people of Ilaria trembled in fear, for they knew Malachar's power was unmatched by any they had faced before. King Cedric and Queen Helena gathered their advisors, seeking a way to defend their land. Lucy, determined to protect her home, stepped forward. "I will face Malachar," she declared. Her parents exchanged worried glances, but knew that Lucy's powers might be the only hope against the dark sorcerer. As Lucy prepared for the battle, she felt the weight of her powers and the fear of losing control. She remembered the teachings of the sages and the love of her people, and she steeled herself for the confrontation. The battlefield was set in the desolate plains outside the kingdom. As Lucy approached, Malachar sneered, sensing the dark energy within her. "You think you can defeat me with the same darkness that I command?" he taunted. Lucy stood tall, her voice steady. "I will not use my powers to destroy, but to protect and heal. The darkness within me is a part of who I am, but it does not define me." With that, the battle began. Malachar unleashed torrents of dark magic, his shadow creatures swarming toward Lucy. She summoned her powers, creating shields of shadowy energy to protect herself and the kingdom. The ground trembled as their magic clashed, the sky darkening with the intensity of their battle. As the fight wore on, Lucy found herself growing weary. Malachar's power seemed endless, and she felt her control slipping. In a desperate moment, she remembered the faces of those she loved, the people she had helped, and the hope she had always carried in her heart. She took a deep breath, focusing her energy not on the darkness, but on the light within her soul. Summoning every ounce of her strength, Lucy channeled her powers into a single, radiant burst of energy. It was a fusion of light and dark, a manifestation of her true self. The wave of energy surged forward, overwhelming Malachar and his creatures. The sorcerer let out a final anguished scream before vanishing into the ether. As the dust settled, the sky cleared and the sun shone brightly once more. Lucy stood amidst the battlefield, her heart pounding but triumphant. The people of Ilaria, who had watched from afar, erupted in cheers. They rushed to her, lifting her onto their shoulders and celebrating their brave princess. King Cedric and Queen Helena embraced Lucy, tears of pride and relief in their eyes. "You have shown us all that true strength comes from within," Queen Helena said softly. "You have conquered the darkness by embracing your light." From that day forward, Lucy continued to use her powers for good, but now with a deeper understanding of herself. She became a symbol of hope and resilience, proving that even those who carry darkness within them can shine the brightest light. And so, Princess Lucy of Ilaria ruled with kindness and strength, her legacy a testament to the power of a kind heart in the face of darkness.